So hello from Gatwick Airport. I am about to board the plane. I'm going to see my parents. But I thought I'll tell you all about yesterday's event that I did with UK Ultra. It's called Winter on the Downs, and the reason why I couldn't do this video whilst I was running it was because it was super cold. I mean, super cold. It's been a very long time since I have been that cold, and frankly, I was absolutely mad. So I was wearing all my ski gear, so ski thermals, a gilet, then another layer, then my running coat, then two pairs of gloves with an underglove as well. My hands never got warm. But despite that, I actually had an amazing time, and I just want to say that this event is one that I would highly recommend for anybody wanting a winter ultra. So previous years I've always been looking at the Cheviot Goat, which happens at the same weekend, and sort of various ones which are up north. But in all honesty, around the south of England, there are no events that are really good for the winter. And this one just fills in a very special spot because it's super well organized. I remember volunteering 2 years ago in with the same company. They were doing again an event on the South Downs, but it was 100k and 100 miler, and they had you could book a 20 mile, and they had different options. So the company is called UK Ultra, and it's a fairly new company. The gentleman who is running it, a guy called Neil Kirby, is really experienced runner, super nice guy. And I must say, even the first year was really good. He has put a lot of thought to make this event good. Couple of years now, honestly, I think he has completely surpassed himself, and I know he has been abroad as well, and he's picked up a lot of things of how things happen in Europe. It's definitely an event that feels they want you to do well, even though it's you have to run it. It's not an event where you can sort of dilly-dally. You know, you need to train for it, you need to run. The way Winter on the Downs works. So obviously yesterday was their first year. So they had a lot of communications before that with emails, with routes. I think there was a training run as well, which is really good. And the route is primarily on the on the South Downs, but it obviously weaves in and out of various places as well. So it's a punchy route. It comes up at 2,500 meters of elevation, whatever that is in feet. It's 55 miles long, which is about nearly 90k, so 89 point something, so 90k. So it is not to be underestimated. However, the route is so well marked. I mean, I didn't really feel like I needed my watch or my GPX file, even though I don't know why wouldn't you, to be fair. You know, if you have a watch, put your GPX file, because things do happen, and you know, we all know of markings being moved around completely unnecessarily and so on. The one thing I really liked in all their markings was that they had these white sticks and with the sign of UK Ultra, but it's literally that, it's a stick, so they can put the sticks anywhere, and then whoever's doing the section where the last run is finished, you know, they're sweeping the place, they can just pick up the sticks. So no harm done to the planet, and in fact they were particularly good. There were no t-shirts unless you really wanted one. The medals were amazing, but the medals are one of those that you can have. I think it's the same medal every year. So obviously this is their first year, but we need to do better. We need to do better in terms of having CAC after an event. Okay, it's amazing, but have your medal, have your things. They were superb when it comes to you know, if you wanted something of a Momento, they'll make it happen. Otherwise, if you're like me, who just goes and runs everywhere all the time, I don't really need stuff. So yesterday for me was super early start, so I think I had to get up at 4 o'clock. It's about an hour and a half to get down to the South Downs. We started in Eastbourne, and if anybody knows the centre of Eastbourne, there is a massive hill which another event happens, Beachy Head there, they sort of go up, but we actually started at the park which is just below it, maybe about 200 meters or whatever, and then it meant there was a really big arch of the start and the finish line, loads and loads of people. It was really fantastic start line, big marquee. All the registration was happening there, and in fact I saw so many wonderful friends of mine who I haven't seen in ages, and of course I think locally quite a few of the running clubs have gotten involved, which is amazing. And then we got given a tracker which you can just shove in your bag, and we got given another tracker which you have to put on your shoe, one of those. And my husband was around as well, and he said the tracker and the whatever that is called, the well, I suppose it's another tracker. Both of them worked superbly. He said I could actually see you when you're running with someone, and then when you pull away, back and forth or whatever. So it was a great, the fact that you had so much just signal and so much sort of actual information, I suppose. So you're allowed to be crewed. The route starts, like I said, not on that big hill. It actually finishes on that big hill, but it starts a little to the left, and you kind of catch the South Downs more or less immediately. The first 5 or 6 Ks are very lovely because you can run and just about get warm. They just sort of wind you routes, but like you're steadily climbing. And of course that's when the speedsters want to pull away from the crowd. Great. It was quite well attended, quite a lot of people turned up. Like I said, there was a guy, hello Marcus if you're watching this, I mean the temperatures were below 0 for sure, not much, but maybe like -1 or 2, and he ran the first part with nothing, just literally had bare chest and massive point of conversation. I'm sure there's some photographs of that, because he's a huge Wim Hof fan, and he's been through cancer for a few years now. Had to do a lot of healing and a lot of chemo and a lot of stuff, but that man is amazing. We ran together the 100k last year, and I must say he is a really good company, and just telling me what he's been through, yeah, I don't need the book and I don't need to watch Pride of Britain for sure. So very inspiring. And he was bare-chested. He was just running with his with his belt, with his stuff in there. And of course the rest of us were just millions of coats and and gloves and hats and whatever. So like I said, the first part is quite nice because you can actually just get a rhythm. And then as soon as sort of sun rose, the views, the South Downs is a pretty special place. I mean, yeah, I get it why people want to live there and want to run there. You can never get tired from those incredible views, for sure. So I didn't take very many photographs at all this time because I was just freezing all the time. So I just got some rhythm, and like I said, once you are on the Downs, this pretty kind of moron-proof route, lots of gates, lots of kind of straight on lines, and because everything was frozen, at some point literally my hair had this white frozen kind of coating, and my eyelashes were frozen. I wish I was taking a photograph then, but of course I wasn't gonna sort of faff around with gloves and phones and whatever. So Yeah, it was pretty amazing to see the checkpoints. So the first two checkpoints were 10 miles apart, which is quite a bit, but also if you have trained, that's probably the perfect spots. And then the third checkpoint is your halfway point at Housden. And at Housden, the cutoffs start to be a little more generous, and obviously you could take a little bit more walking. But that first part, yeah, just keep pushing if you're there. The don't faff around, because you'll definitely feel like it's chasing cutoffs. You don't want to do that. I didn't really stick with anybody for too long. I met some wonderful people here and there, but most of the time I end up being in my own thoughts and just admiring the views. And I say admiring the views, but admiring a lot of fog. There was a lot of fog, and what was super, super magical is you really do appreciate something when it's missing, when when you see, oh, I'm in this place, which I know the views are spectacular here, and of course there's nothing but fog. But the good thing is I was able at some point to switch off my head torch and just look up at the stars, and it was really incredible, because we have such a light pollution everywhere. You just can't see the stars. I think the last time I was on a holiday in Mauritius, actually, and yeah, looking at the stars was just, I mean, you could have been in I don't know, like one of those places like Greenwich or whatever, where you could have an astronomy lesson or something. It was just stunning. But like I said, the route is superb. Normally, if it's not that foggy, you will really feed your soul with amazing, just spectacular views. Yeah, so I think they've picked up a really nice route. The one thing that I'm extremely grateful for were the volunteers. Even though I used my husband as a little, so he crewed me, and frankly I had in mind to take sort of various things through on route. He was my support body. I didn't really use that much the checkpoints, but because you have to go and give your number, and then obviously you have to cross the timing mat. Every time I walked in, those volunteers are beyond amazing. It was, first of all, it was a lot of them, which is fantastic, because you need a lot of people to make an event really good. You can't have two people doing everything. I've been on the other end, and it's hard work. So these guys, it was a lot of them. Everybody was doing something. It was just great. The tables were full of fantastic food, not just the usual kids party food, but there was a lot of fruit, and I think they had gels. I know they had gels, but I think they had also High Five or Active Root or something or other like that, for those who are using a particular potion then. And yeah, they couldn't have done enough for you. There was a lot of cake, there was a lot of Christmas cake. Yeah, just brilliant. And every aid station had something different, even though it's much easier for an organizer to just get everything, and it's like, that's what we offer on every aid station, and that's that. You can see clearly that much thought have been put through in order to achieve that. And what else? So by the time we actually finished, the event, they had also a man with hot soup, white rolls, butter, and all sorts of yummy stuff as well. Oh, the one thing I was going to say is I'm really, really impressed, and I know I shouldn't be impressed, but at the starter line they had where the toilets were, they had ladies' toilets and they had gents. And you know what? It's such a small thing, and it really is nothing, but it makes a massive difference if you want to get more women into trail running. I know certainly it's like for us, 2-3 people in front of you, you could visit the Luby Fall, you actually go and run 55 miles. It was just brilliant. So these are the, I know it's a given, I know I shouldn't be impressed with that, but yeah, it was good. And yeah, they had photographers, they had videographer. I think it was just a fantastic event. Yeah, I did good timing, even though I struggled with the cold. I definitely was sort of, I think a lot of the second part I was running because I was cold. This is my last ultra for this year officially. Like I said, I'm heading off to see my parents, and I probably won't get to do any events till the end of the year, but plenty on the calendar next year. So this was, it felt like a real celebration of what's been a fantastic year of running for me, and yeah, couldn't be more grateful. Thank you for watching.